Hey, today I'm going to be teaching you how to make a paper Baretta gun that shoots these bullets like a few feet, like 15 feet, and it's a blowgun, so you're gonna okay. That went pretty far actually, like 15 feet. But there are a few extra perks I'm going to put on. So I'm going to go with Paper G-Man's idea. So it's not copyright, it's Paper G-Man's. But that's a user on here. It's going to be a paper Baretta that you pull back, put a bullet in the top, push it back, and then blow it. So, and don't spray paint it, because that just makes it, one, it tears the paper apart, and it makes it wet so it's easy to tear, and two, it's going to make your tape a lot less strong, so it's going to fall off, and yeah, it's not going to be cool. So don't spray paint it. I think it looks a lot better like this. If you are going to spray paint it before you put it together. Spray paint all the papers silver, and then after you're done you can do like spots of black or whatever. You do green and spots of dark brown and stuff. But here we go. Hello again, and since I am going to be telling you what supplies you'll need, I shouldn't have done that, stopped it, but supplies you'll need are a pair of scissors, so you can cut stuff, tape, so you can tape stuff, workspace, so you can work on stuff, and paper, so you can make a paper gun, because the gun is made of paper. You're going to need about 7 sheets, 6 or 7 sheets, doesn't really matter. But, here we go. Okay, one of the pieces of paper, take the paper, and, roll it up into a circle long ways. All of the paper we're going to be doing is going to be holding it long ways. So, hold it long ways. Make sure it's parallel, and then stick your thumb in it and tighten it. That sounds like a fart. Tighten it until you get about the first crease of your pointer finger is about the length of the tube diameter. So, and then what you're going to do is you're going to take some Scotch tape. You can actually use duct tape or masking tape or Scotch tape, but Scotch tape looks a lot better, in my opinion. So, but my opinion doesn't really matter. It's you people who's making the gun. But you tape the top of the tube, the first top, and then you take another piece of tape and do the bottom of the tube, and then one more piece of tape, and then you're going to do the middle of the tube. So it should look a little bit like that. And then next, you're going to take another piece of paper, set this tube to the side, and then take another piece of paper, roll it up, Stick your thumb in it, twist it, thumb or pointer finger, whatever works best for you. I'm going to tighten it. It's a pointer finger, so I said point it. So. Tighten it so that it can fit into your first tube, okay? Alright, that works pretty easily. And you don't want to make it too tight on the big tube, but you don't want to make it too loose either. So, this is just about right, where you have about 1 millimeter of space in there when you push it down. So, do the same thing you did with the first tubes. And take the top of the tube. And the bottom of the tube. Yes, you will. And then you do the boring middle. You tape it. Make sure it still fits, that nothing came loose while you're taping it, and mine still does. And then, yeah. So, next step, what you're going to do is you're going to take the bigger tube, the tube that the little tube fits into, because it's the big tube and this is the little tube, and the little tube fits in the big tube because the little tube has a littler diameter. Put the little tube into the big tube and then take it out. Take the scissors, and you're going to take the big tube, not the little tube, the big tube. You're going to take the big tube and you're going to cut it right in half. That's what you're going to do, because the big tube just sucks. Big tube fits around the little tube still, and you want to make sure you still have tape on it, and I kind of cut off the tape, so I'm going to put a new piece of tape on it. But, put the new piece of tape on there. Okay. And then, now, what you're going to do, because remember how I told you the big tube sucks? Well, so does the little tube. So you're going to take your palm, and you're going to see just about the palm length. Well, actually, the length of this, the length of the cut in half big tube, you're going to just flatten the little tube. So it's just about that long. See? It's about that long. Now, what you're going to do is the little tube, you're going to cut it right in half down the middle. See? Cut it in half. Now, don't go all the way, okay? That's the most important thing. You don't go all the way down the length of this, okay? You just go to about 1 inch below this, so which would be like right there. So you're going to go right there, cutting it down. Check it. Yeah, that's just about right. And then the skinnier piece, you're gonna angle it up and cut it right off. Another thing you might need by your side when you do this project is a trash can. It just makes it easier to get rid of all your scraps easily. So, I don't have a trash can to have to drop that on. Anyway, so make sure it still fits, and of course it does. So yeah, that's the first part of your gun. Next step is take another tube. Roll it up. Make sure it's pretty small. And this tube is special, you know why? Because this tube has to be smaller than the other two tubes. So make this tube extra small. What some people do is they wrap this tube around a pen, but I don't think that works because it just loosens up and it goes everywhere. So I don't like that. So I just do it like this. Make sure it's pretty small. Take it and cut it. Tape it. This is why I hate this tape. I just don't like it. It's not cool. And do it the same thing you did with the other two tubes. Top. Bottom. And the middle. Okay, so you're gonna do that. Next, what you're gonna do is you're gonna take these two tubes that we made a little earlier. You're gonna take the little piece and you're gonna put it to the side for a minute. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna tape this tube. You're gonna take this. No, first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna take this piece and you're gonna cut about 2 centimeters off the end. And then you're gonna take this piece, this tube, and measure it to see if it's about 2 inches off, and yeah, it is. So you're gonna line them up side by side, making sure the open part is out. That's very important. The open part is out, like away from the other two. Take another piece of tape and tape the two pieces together. What I do is I just take one of the tubes, the tube that's not open, and I just put it like this. I match it up and then tape it together, and I flip it over and I do the same thing. Same old boring thing. Life is boring, and that's what makes it fun. I know that makes no sense. I make no sense. And then you do the same thing to the upper part of it. Tape them together. And then earlier, this tube, you're going to put it back on. And it's going to look a little bit like that. Okay? When you put it back on. This is going to be where you shoot out the gun. And when you cock it, this big piece is gonna stay in place, and you're just gonna pull this back. But it's a lot more intricate than that. So you can see they're about the same length. But, this one's a little bigger, so this one's gonna be bigger. So part 2 is next. Hello, my name is Nick, and you are watching part 2 on how to make a paper Baretta. This is paper G-Men style Baretta, and just pull it back, forward. Yeah, that type deal. And in the part 1, we already made this, the barrel, I guess you can call it, to the gun. Now what we're going to do next is we're going to make the bottom piece, which is what the handle is going to go on. So your handle doesn't move with when you cock it. So what you have to do is you have to, wow, I'm running out of paper. You have to take, actually I can just use a scrap piece of paper. Take the paper and you fold it. Actually, this needs to be a little bit thinner. You need to make sure it's about the size of the wrapping of the little tube that's going to go on the bottom. Not the tube that has the slide out thing, but the bottom tube, okay? And then make sure it doesn't have any extra slack like this one does. So I'm just going to have to cut this about that long away. And it's not too bad to make it a little short because the tape will just close that up. But another thing is that this piece has to be the same length as the bottom piece. So cut that extra length off. And what you're going to do is the only piece you will be taping this piece to, this should be thicker, but the only piece that you should be taping this to is the short tube. That's the thick short tube, okay? So you're going to be taping it, the little tube down here, you're going to be taping it around that and then tape it to the big tube, okay? But first you can just, actually what you can do is you can just take the big tube off and tape the piece of paper well, no, wait, you can't do that. Sorry, I lied again. But you take the piece of paper and you put it right about there where the two tubes come together. You put it right about in that section. And then you come around the other side and you tape it again to the big, thick, the thick, short tube. Again, and then you do the bottom. The other side. So that, tape it down here, tape it down there. Wow, I'm running out of paper fast. And then, so this is what it's gonna look like. You pull this back, and the big tube and this piece stay, okay? And then you push it back in, and it still stays. I had a really thin piece, so I have to tape it a few more times. So please wait patiently as I tape this again. Okay, so you pull that back, put it back. So that's going to be the top piece. This piece that we just put on is very, very, very important. Do not put that on. Okay, that has to go on. In fact, all of these pieces have to go on, except the magazine, which we'll be making later. So next thing you're going to be making is the handle. The handle for the gun, which is this piece right here, duh. So, however thick you want your handle to be, fold the last piece of paper, or the second to last, or the third to last, whatever you have, fold a piece of paper, and like this one, when I folded it, was that long, so I want this one just about that long. So you fold it, you crease it, but then the next time you don't crease it, and then the next time you don't crease it, next time you don't crease it, but then at the end you just lightly press it down, okay? Lightly press it down so it kind of creases it, but it doesn't make it like a solid crease. Want me to say crease again? Okay, crease. There you go. But you don't do that because you don't let it go, because you're just gonna have to fold it back again. Nice and beautiful. So fold it to it. other side to itself like you did the first two tubes, and then make sure it's still creased a little bit. Doesn't have to be creased a lot, like I said. On this one I messed up, so I creased it a lot, but it just creases a little bit. And then you take one more piece of tape and you tape the middle. You do this one long ways. You tape the middle down to the side. And it should look a little bit like that. So next you're going to crease it a little bit more, a little harder. And then you're going to bend this one way so it looks like a semicircle. Okay? Semicircle. Just like that. No, I'm sorry, I'm still thinking about that. But next thing you're going to do, don't do that. Don't do the semicircle thing. Next thing you're going to do is you're going to take about the second crease on your finger. You're going to take about that long off the top of your gun. I don't like to do this extra part, so I'm going to do a little bit more than that. But not too much. You don't need too much more than that. And then you do it a little bit angle at the top. You do a little angle because who doesn't want an angle at their gun? It makes it more realistic. And then you do the same thing to the other side, except the angle at the top has to be parallel with like anything flat, like parallel with the table you're working on. But and then you cut the other side parallel to. You're gonna use this as a measurement. This crease, this where you begin to cut it has to be parallel with this side where you begin to cut it. Stuck to my arm. But next thing you're going to do is you're going to attach the handle to the gun, and the fat piece, the piece that you don't pull back, the fat piece that's attached to the bottom piece, you're going to attach the handle to the handle to the bottom of that. I know the handle is long, okay? The handle is really long, but you can cut it short to however long you want, and wrap it around the top. And then, of course, you tape it because it doesn't stay unless you tape it, so tape it. Okay. And that's going to be the handle of your gun. And then the next thing you do, the little piece on the bottom, like the short one right here, right there, you're going to tape the handle to that piece. You don't tape it to the top because it doesn't cock if you tape it to the top. So tape it to the bottom. Oh. It's happiness not being. Tried to keep that sanity down. I'm sorry, I like Michael Jackson, so R.I.P. Michael Jackson. And then you do it to the other side as well. Like I said, only the bottom part, okay? Because it won't cock if you put it on the top. It's going to look like that. And then the next thing you can do is you can cut your handle, the handle on your gun, to whatever length you like. I like it about my finger length. So about that long, right about there, and make sure it's parallel. So when you put it down, the table should be parallel with the barrel of the gun. I guess you can call it the barrel. But yeah, so okay, and that's the basic structure of the gun. The next thing is one of the very, very, very few things that are optional. you do not have to do this. Take one of the strips of scrap paper, it's got to be just as long as the top barrel of your gun. It's the right length, and it's got to wrap around to be able to touch the bottom piece of the gun. All right, the bottom piece. So cut it about that length. Okay. And it's better if it doesn't have creases in it like this, but I don't really care. So fold this piece in half. Long ways, hot dog ways, I guess you can call it. But, and then at the top of your gun, where you pull the, wow, it's taped somewhere. Why is it taped? It's taped right there. Oh, shouldn't be happening. Where you pull it back, right here, your handle, it should have wrapped over the top, and if it didn't, it probably didn't work. But the right side of your handle is from there to the open side of the barrel of your gun. From there to there, you have to line that up with the top of this. So I'm going to show you that in part 3 of this tutorial. Bye! See you in part 3. Hey again, welcome to part 3 of the tutorial of making a Baretta gun. Paper G-Man showed me how to do it on YouTube today, and I'm showing you how to do it today. So, go Paper G-Man. So, last time, part 2, we used the top piece and put it over this, and I told you that it had to be, has to be the length. Gosh, why is this taped? I guess I did something wrong or something. It doesn't move too good. It should move on yours. But, it should look like that. So, your paper, the top part of your paper, you put the gun barrel on this, and then you mark it with a little slit of the scissors. I like to call them scissors, but you mark it where it opens on your gun, right here. It opens, and then you marked it with the scissors. Well, I'm saying things a lot, but and then what you're gonna do is you're gonna open the paper, and you're gonna fold it over about 2/3 of the way over. An easy way to measure this is that, like, this side will be just as long as this side, just as wide. Okay, so that's what makes it half. And then do the same thing to the other side. And then, okay, so those two creases are going to be the markers for where you're going to cut the two slits, where you're going to go down to. So you take the scissors and you cut it down to the crease, and then you round it off again along the crease, go along the crease, and then go a little bit short of your other mark, and then it should look a little bit like that. That's going to be your opening. So stretch out your creases so they look nice. I can tell this gun isn't going to turn out to be very nice. Not as nice as this one that I made. But take the creases, make them look nice, put this over the top of this gun. Make sure your hole lines up with the hole in there. Wait, this is a little short, so I'm going to cut it a little further. And you can do different designs on how you're going to do this, how you're going to put the hole. But now you just put it on the top of the gun and you tape it to the bottom part. Again, the bottom part, not the top part, the bottom part, because the bottom part doesn't move, okay? That's very, very critical, crucial. So, just like this, and tape it over the top, middle, and bottom, just like we always do. Back to basics. Whose logo is that? I forget, but one of these stores has Back to Basics as a logo. I think it's Target for school supplies or whatever. Something. But you take the bottom, the very back, you should have left a little bit of room. I know I'm not telling you guys a lot of stuff, but you should have left a lot of room behind your handle, or at least tape length enough room. Wow, this gun turned out sucky. But, and then you tape the middle. To the bottom. As usual. See, now it's starting to, well, it already did start to take the gun shape quite a while ago, but now it's starting to take a really, really nice gun shape. Oops. So, okay, that is the end of the tutorial for the Baretta gun. I'm gonna make another video in about 5 minutes. Going to be the tutorial on accessories of the Baretta, which will be the bullets and the magazine, which holds the bullets down here. And so that's the basic construction of the Baretta Paper G-Men style. Thanks for watching. Watch the accessories version. Bye. Hey, my name is Nick, and hopefully you have already watched the other videos where I made the Paper G-Man style Baretta gun. I made a pretty sucky one. It's not as good as this one I made earlier. But now I'm going to show you how to make the bullets and the magazine to the gun, okay? So clear your space and yeah. What you're going to do is hopefully, maybe, just possibly, you'll have a scrap sheet of paper that fits into the magazine. And if not, I'm just going to show you how to make the magazine for your gun. So, it would be easier if we did it like this. Fold your piece of paper in half. If you don't want to fold the piece of paper in half and just cut this, then you can make 2 magazines, but I just like to make the thick ones. So, what you're going to do with this is go along the crease and make sure it bends really easily. Okay? So, and then you're going to just roll it up. It doesn't have to be that big, it doesn't have to be that small, it just has to be able to fit into your gun handle, your paper Baretta gun handle. Has to be able to fit into that. Okay? And then push it in as not as far as you can, but make sure it still fits in there and that you can't you can still pull it out and stuff, because if you don't do that, then your life's gonna suck. Oh, did I say life? I meant Baretta. Okay, so just cut that piece of paper off. Pull it out just a little bit, just enough for you to be able to put tape on it. Okay. And then, of course, tape it to itself at the end, the beginning, and the middle of this piece. Well, actually, you don't have to do it to the magazine, but, so what you're gonna do next, the magazine should be able to fit in here quite smoothly, so, next you're gonna put the bottom on the magazine, because this is where you're gonna put the bullets, and if you don't put the bottom of the magazine on there, the bullets are just gonna fall out, okay? So, that's what we're gonna have to do. If you don't have a scrap sheet of paper, or if you're throwing your scrap sheet of paper away as you go along, this won't work. But if you have a scrap sheet of paper that can fit over the magazine bottom, save a tree. Don't waste a whole nother sheet of paper on just a bottom of the magazine. Come on, people, that's ridiculous. Seriously, I'm not kidding. Okay, so flatten out your scrap sheet of paper. Cut just enough that you'll need for the bottom of the magazine, because you can use that for something else. As I said, save a tree. Flatten out your magazine a little so it fits pretty easily into the handle of your gun. And take the bottom piece, take a piece of tape, and one of the sides of the piece of paper, put it on there, and put it down. And what you're going to do is you're going to trace the side of the bottom of this. And it doesn't have to fit perfectly. Okay, so if you still have a little bit of room, it doesn't really matter. And take your piece of tape, put it over it. Everybody say, "Hi, Mom." My grandma just walked in, so Mom, Grandma, something. Wow, good job. But you tape the bottom down on your magazine, and hopefully there won't be too much tape exposed on the inside of this, so you can put the bullet in there. And if you did it right, it fits into the bottom of your handle of the gun. So yeah. Okay, now I'm going to teach you how to make a bullet to the gun. Somewhere near you should, actually the scrap piece of paper that you use for that should be big enough to use for the bullet. Okay, cut off a little bit of the weird side thing. Okay, and then do it to the other side too, so your bullet is nice and straight and it doesn't curve when you shoot it out. And like I said in the beginning, I'm sorry that this is a blowgun, but I don't really mind that you have to blow. And for all you lazy wimps out there who don't want to blow into a gun to make a bullet come out, then there was no purpose in watching this video. So, you take one of the corners of the scrap sheet of paper that you made into a little rectangle. Take one of the corners and roll it out, and then to one side of the corner you're going to push it back so that it has a tip to it, kind of, not really, but so that it has a tip. And you want the tip to be kind of airtight because you're going to be blowing it into the bottom of this bullet, and you don't want any air coming out of there. So, again, the smaller you made your tube, the easier it is to make these bullets, okay? So that's what I was telling you earlier about. The smaller you make these tubes, the easier it'll be to make a bullet that's the right size. Because there's not so much. I'm talking way too much. So tape the top of your gun, the bullet, and put it into the back of your gun to see where it fits and how well it fits, and if it doesn't fit, cut off the extra and then use it for a bullet later. Okay? And so there is your cruddy bullet that I made, and hopefully you guys will make a better bullet than I made, because I make sucky bullets. Although the bullets that my sisters make, they fly like hornets. They go everywhere. They go so fast, I swear. And if you have extra tape on the top, just cut it off with your handy dandy scissors. Put it in there. Make sure your inside is nice and smooth, because when you blow into this, like this, you want it to come out straight, and if the tape on the outside isn't straight, then your bullet's going to go like this. And that's what bullets I make. So, don't make those. My bullets suck. So, you make a few of these, and what you do is you pull out the magazine you made in your gun, you pull it out, and the bullet should fit in there quite nicely. And then you just put it back in the handle of your gun, back, just like that. Okay. So now, what we're gonna do, wow, this bullet doesn't fit. I gotta cut it a little bit. By the way, make sure you have sharp scissors, because you kind of need them, because this paper can get pretty thick, and if your scissors are dull, it won't work. Your scissors won't cut. See, my scissors are dull, and my tape isn't that good, and so I make pretty sucky guns. I made this gun with the tape that I ran out of in the beginning. Well, actually, it was a bit, never mind. I'm talking too much again. But actually, you pull out the back. You see the back of the gun? It has those two holes. Yeah, pull that out. It should come out quite nicely. And then that exposes the top hole of your gun. And what you do is you put the bullet pointing the front, and put it in the back and push it back a little. So, and then push it back forward. And then, now, we're gonna take it for a little test run. Okay, so, follow me. Actually, don't follow me. I'm hooked up to the wall, so I can't go anywhere. But you guys can't either, so. I'm gonna turn the lights on so you can see. Yeah. Let's go to the family room, everybody. Yeah. bed sheets and my sister. Yeah, hi sister. I should make it right. Yay! And the Lord said, "Let there be light," and there was light. So, yeah, that's good. And it depends on how circular you made your top piece of the gun. But like I said, this is a blowgun. So when you blow out the top of the top hole, the bullet is going to come out the other side because that's just how it works. You see, I didn't make this gun very well. Not as well as I made this other gun. I'm going to show you that. And, okay, so where the... What? Oh, yeah, I forgot to tell you guys, don't lose your bullets because it kind of sucks because you can't use your gun. Duh. Wow, my magazine is stuck in my... This sucks. And don't push your magazine too far into your gun because then it gets stuck down there and you won't be able to pull it out, and you have to cut it right there so you can pull it out. So that's what I'm going to do right now. So, yeah. Sorry about the waiting. Ha! Found the bullets. Dang! Wonder if it fit. I hope. Please, please, please. Dang it! Just have to cut it. Again. And you don't want to cut your bullets too small because then... You don't want to cut your bullets too small because then when you blow, the air will just go past your bullet and it will just get stuck in there. And it won't be cool because you'll have to get another bullet to try to push it out. And if that doesn't work, you got a whole mess of bullets stuck in your tube. Huh, bullets stuck in your tube. I just got that. I'm slow. Wow, this really sucks. So did that work? Yes, it did. And if you're lazy, like me, you could just put the bullet in the back of the gun and then just blow into that. So. Gun number 2, the gun that actually works. See, that's what I said. If you cut the bullets too small, the bullets don't go in there. It really sucks. So, next thing we're going to do is bullet number 3. I mean, gun number 3. And I'm going to show you how far these bullets go. They go crazy far. And again, you can spray paint your gun if you want a wet gun. But I wouldn't recommend spray painting your gun because it makes it, while it's painted, it gets wet and it's easy to tear, and it tears really easy because it's paper. And you can also put perks like trigger holes like this one, and you can put that in just for looks. And it's, wow. I'll step on that while I blow this. But this is gun number 3 and the bullet fits, hopefully. So, nope, doesn't fit. Sorry, I'm going to have to make a few more bullets in the next episode. Wow, this one. No, wait, this is to gun 1. Yeah, it's to gun 1. See, this bullet is actually a little bit tight, so it might not move too good because it touches the inside of the tube. So yeah, touch it. It sucks. No wait, this is the first one. No, second one. This isn't the gun that fits. So. This pretty gun. I don't like that.
Yeah. No.
I don't know. I guess I'm not doing on what you did, but I'm sorry I didn't show you how these guns really work. But yeah. So hopefully that tutorial will help you in the making. Wow. In the making of your gun. In the making of your paper Baretta pistol. So, bye.
I'm a sister.
The next episode I'm going to do is shooting the guns. And I'll make bullets by then that fit each one of the guns. So, watch that episode and you can see how the guns really work, because that sucked. But,
A bye.
bye.
A bye.